Hi friends, it's Jessie. I just wanted to check in and do a quick little video to make sure that we are still tapping into some of that self-care. If you are like me, you are recognizing that 5 weeks into this, there was definitely some increase in stress. There's definitely some increase in the confusion and uncertainty. I think some of the novelty of those first few weeks of like highly motivated to uproot your house and to organize and to lose 10 pounds and all of the things, I think we might have lost some of that momentum, and I can completely relate because I'm finding the same for myself. So I thought more than ever it might be a nice time to do a self-awareness check-in, and this week I really wanted to focus on movement. So I have noticed in myself that I was getting out and I was hiking, and outside had become kind of a sanctuary and a safe space for me to kind of tap back into my psyche and where I needed to be mentally and emotionally. And for some reason, my lack of going out for runs has kind of subsided. Like I haven't had the same motivation. So I started to tap into what I know about movement and all the benefits that it has. And I know that you've heard these before, so in probably great detail, so I won't go into the minute scale of it. But I did read a book a few weeks ago called The Joy of Movement by Kelly McGonigal. And since I've listened to a few podcasts by her as well. If you know Kelly McGonigal, she is the author of a book called The Upside of Stress as well. And she does an amazing job of reframing stress and looking at it from a different lens. And so I was anticipating this book, and I was really excited to read it. And one of the things that stood out to me the most was the benefits of exercise that are outside of what we already know to be true. So obviously we know that there are so many physical benefits, there's so many mental benefits, there's so many just, feel good benefits of running. A lot of people talk about that endorphin rush and how that helps reduce stress and cortisol, and that is absolutely true. But one of the things that stood out for me, and a quote from here, was people who are regularly active have a stronger sense of purpose, and they experience more gratitude, love, and hope. So at this time more than ever, that was such a big takeaway for me, because I think that we need to have hope. I think that for a lot of people, not knowing an end date to this, or not knowing when this is going to, be over and when life is going to return to normal, that is causing a ton of stress and anxiety, and rightfully so. But that idea of hope and gratitude is going to be such an important thing to tap into. And through exercise, she identified that our muscles will physically release a specific type of hormone, which she calls hope molecules. So our bodies are biologically made to move. In fact, when we do move, we have all these intrinsic motivators to reward us. In the past, you had to move to survive. And so when we do move now, you get those intrinsic motivators to go off. And one of the greatest ones is these hope molecules, which creates this elation and this feeling of happiness that cannot be emulated with any type of chemical that we can kind of take or ingest, or medicine that we can put into our bodies. So that was a motivator for me. And movement is funny, because I think sometimes we think it has to be this like huge audacious goal of like, I'm going to run 10 miles, or I'm going to do this really high intensity workout for 45 minutes. And in fact, they actually are recognizing that small doses of movement daily have a greater impact than really strenuous HIIT type workouts where you're doing like an hour and a half workout maybe once or twice a week. So for me, movement has looked very much like yoga. That's kind of my safe space, and that's where I find my mental clarity and my emotional safety. So for me, I use the app called Down Dog, and I think I might have mentioned this in my first video, but if I didn't, Down Dog offers 3 different types of exercise apps that are all free right now, and they're all at home. One is what I was just talking about, the yoga app, and it has all these different features that you can kind of select which works for you. So if you're new to yoga, I would start with the restorative yoga, which is very gentle. You don't even get up off your mat. It's just a lot of stretching and breathing. And right now, I think more than ever, tapping into our muscles and our breath is going to be so important for reducing stress and releasing those hope molecules. You can also do a higher active yoga. You can pick your level, so you can start from beginner all the way up to expert. You can do times. You can do 10 minutes, or you can do an hour in 10 minutes. For me, I usually do 30 minutes of yoga every morning. So it's 25 of active yoga and then 5 minutes of shavasana, which is just a form of meditation. So just lying on my back and really, really connecting to my breath and starting my day in a way that is more calm and peaceful has been a game changer for me. If yoga is not your thing, they also have HIIT workouts that you can do the same thing. It's kind of like choose your own adventure for how long, what that looks like, a specific area of your body that you really want to focus on. And then they also have this thing called 7-minute workout where it's just 7 minutes of high energy, all different types of things. So whatever is your cup of tea, I just wanted to give you a tool that, you know, this week it's a little rainy and overcast and I don't know if you're able to get outside. So if you're not, then this is just something that you could tap into. Another game changer for me and something that's been so fun is every morning before we start homeschool with my kiddos, we've been doing dance parties. We put on Kids Bop and we just jam out. So we're, you know, and I kind of do like a follow the leader where I'll do like, you know, like high up, touch your toes, or I do like jumps and or skips or whatever it is, and the kids follow me. And just moving your body first thing in the morning, it just creates this sense of happiness and fun and playfulness, and we've been loving them. So if you haven't done dance parties, I would tap into that resource as well. If it is nice outside, oh my goodness, get outside. Every single time I do it, I do not regret it. So even if you don't feel like running, that's okay. Just go for a walk. Just pay attention to the sounds that the birds are making and those signs of spring that we're seeing and the cherry blossoms and all the beauty. It is such a good form of gratitude, self-love, and hope. So more than anything, I just wanted to say hi and check in and let you all know that I am totally thinking about you. And I know that this uncertainty is so tricky and the work that you're doing with kids is absolutely amazing. So in the spirit of hope and hope molecules, just allow yourself that gift of moving your body and getting some of those endorphins and feel-good chemicals, because I know the motivation is tricky, but once you do it, you will never, ever regret it. If you have questions or need resources or want support, I am always here for you. And thank you. I hope you have an awesome week.